Okay, hi everyone, let's dive straight in and do this because, yeah, don't want to wait around too much. This is the tutorial for Frankie Goes to Hollywood's Welcome to the pleasuredome bassline. By me, it's my interpretation, so it probably isn't exactly right, but it's what I've heard on the CD, what I believe the bass line is more or less like, although I don't think it's exactly the same. It's just my interpretation, but it's like just a tutorial for that, really. So let's dive straight in and do it. Okay, this is like a kind of intermediate, I would say, difficulty. You do need a little bit of experience slapping and popping. Although I'm primarily a guitarist, really, but I really like this bass line, so yeah, I just had to do it. So okay, we're starting with we're slapping on the E string with the thumb like that, and then we're going to do a pull off. A pull off is when you hit or pluck a string, and then you're pulling off with your left hand to create another note, from one fretted note to another. That's a pull off, and we'll be using hammer-ons as well. Hammer-on is the opposite of that, where you play a fretted note and then hit a higher up fretted note with your left hand. The basic motion is, well, I'll play the first sequence and then we'll work through it slowly. The first sequence goes like this. Okay, what we're doing there is we're slapping on the E, pulling off from the 7th to the 5th on the A string, then we're moving everything up 2 semitones, pulling off from the 9th to the 7th on the A string. That's pull off, and then we go into hammer-ons, which is from the 7th to the 9th on the D string, and from the 7th to the 9th, I do believe. Sorry, not quite right. Pull off, a hammer on, slap on the 7th on the G string, back to a hammer on 7 to 9. So the whole sequence is second time around. You're doing a very similar thing, but it's a slight variation on the D string and the G string. We're doing a further hammer on from the 7th to the 9th on the G string, like this. Then it's just, so you're going back and forth between hammering on from the 7th to the 9th, slapping the 7th, then back to the 9th. Second time round is, right, we're hammering on from 7th to the 9th. So the whole sequence really slowly is That's the first time. You do it a second time. The third time round, we're just doing a pull off from 7 to 5, and from 9 to 7, and then a further slap from the 12th to the 10th to the 9th, like that. So the whole sequence slowly is. And we'll do that again. And then at full speed. That's the first sort of sequence, and then we move into a much simpler part, which is where they bring it down to just plucking the bass E root note, which is this kind of a rhythmic pattern. And every now and again, the bassist puts in another little sort of trill up here on the from the 5th to the 7th on the A, and from the 5th to the 7th on the E, and the whole sort of sequence is. That's pretty much it. And then just to bring us back into the first sequence again, what I can hear on the CD is that it sounds like a kind of just a basic slap pop on an octave for from the A to G, and back to the start sequence again. So that would be like this. Sorry, it's from G to A, not A from G. G to A, so. Back to the start again. And with all of that, I'm mostly just slapping my thumb on the string. I'm not doing a lot of popping. You can see on there. It's a lot of just slapping. I guess the original guy, he might have done a variant with a pop, but it's just the way I play it. I just find it easier to do that. That's about it. The final part to teach you really is just for the instrumental or bridge section, which is kind of like a kind of disco style pop, slap and pop thing again. It's just on the octaves, starting from the 7th, which is a E again. We go into the sort of, it's like a bridge section, which goes like this. So it's 7 to 9, sorry, yeah, 7 to 9, 5 to 7 on the A to G, and then from moving from there to the E, D strings, 7 to 9. 5 to 7, and the whole thing is So what you're doing is 7 to 9, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 5 to 7, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, 5 to 7, 6, 8, 7 to 9. Really slowly. And the whole thing at speed. And that's about it. That's the only kind of bits that I've been doing on the video. So I hope that helps. This is me, Andrew, signing out.